Hey Year 9s, so today we're going to create our acrylic shape for our model. So this is going to be a part, and later we'll assemble it with the base that we've already done. So with any sketch that we do, any model we do, we start with File, View, and we want to make sure it's metric, standard, and then we create, where we can start our new sketch. So start 2D sketch, and depending which way your vase is facing, this is the front, so if it's facing the front, do that. If you're having yours on the side, select this plane here. I'm going to select the XY plane, and now our acrylic is 160 by 160, so our shape needs to fit within that, but also allow for the tab at the bottom that goes into the top of our LED base, which is a 40 millimeters by 3 millimeter slot. So we'll start a rectangle 2-point center. From the center, we'll just go out 160 by 160. That's the outermost measurement of our acrylic. So we need to fit tab at the bottom here and our shape within that, above that tab. So we're going to put the tab in. The tab is 40 by 4. So we'll do another rectangle, but we'll just do a 2-point rectangle down the bottom here. So we'll just go 40 tab 4 enter. And now we need to center that, so let's use the dimension function. We have to escape out of the rectangle one, select dimension, and then go from the center. Now the center is up here, so we have to scroll out. So the center line is here. We click that, and then we click the side of our tab there, and then we go down, and you can see how it's creating a measurement of 19 mil. So we want to make that 20 for 40. So now that is center. So we can escape out of that, and we want to get rid of all these measurements now. We'll just delete those because they interfere with the next part. So that is our tab, and now we need to put our shape in between here, 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 and the top of that tab. So say you've got a hexagon, we'll go down to polygon, and we've got 6 chosen there. We just want to do a hexagon, not necessarily in the center. I'd probably go a little bit less than the center, and just click and drag until the edges hit the outside of your square. Doesn't matter that it's short at the top. This is the parameters that we've got to work with. So we're just going to drop it there, click OK. Now what we want to do is we want to have its center in between those, because we started on the center with our center line. But now we want to make sure that that is on top of that. So what we can do is dimension that. So what we want to do is dimension. We go that line, and we want to dimension to that line. And at the moment it's 0.282. We want to make that 0. So you can see that makes that perfectly flat. Now we've got our hexagon sitting on top of our tab. Now we need to get rid of our square and everything else. So we escape out of the dimension. We go to trim, and we want to scroll in down here because we want to get rid of these lines here, that line and that line. So that gets rid of the base of our square but leaves the tab. We want to get rid of this little thing, because that's part of the one piece of acrylic that we get. And we get rid of the rest of our acrylic that is the outside of our original size. So just get rid of those, scroll in, have a look. We want to get rid of everything that's not our shape. And if it comes up with an error, easy way, just escape out of trim and then just delete everything. Just select it, delete. Same with our dimensions, delete those. Bring that over here. I don't need that dimension up there. So we'll get rid of those, and we'll get rid of these reference marks as well. Lines going across. So, oops, there's one little bit down there. You can destroy. Okay, so all we're left with is our hexagon sitting on our tab that goes into our plate. So now we need to extrude it. So next step, that's right, finish sketch. Scroll out so you can see it. We need to extrude that. It'll come out 10 millimeters as default. Change that to 3. That's the thickness of our acrylic. So that's your acrylic base. Sorry, our acrylic sheet. Okay, that's good. And then you got to make sure that you save it as your acrylic shape into your LED folder, because this is another part. So we have our LED base part, and we have our hexagon acrylic. So save it into your documents so that we can now do an assembly of those.